Swing it, boys, swing for the fence. Shove it, boys, make 'em miss. Some big league chew and a baseball souvenir. Come on, sing with me now. The Joe is home, sweet home. It's roll, tide, roll. The Joe is home, that's right. Home, sweet home. Hey, look, is that Roll Tide Willie over there? Blitz, Bama, Blitz.
Hey, welcome in again, everybody. It's the Weekly Joe Podcast, Season 3, Episode 8. And we're going to get right into it tonight because we've got the man of the week, Tyler Fay, here with us, fresh off the first no-hitter by a single Alabama pitcher since 1942 on Friday night. It was an incredible night at the Joe. Tyler, you're 5-6 days into this, and obviously gearing up for another game. But how's the week been? A little different week, I suspect.
Yeah, it's been pretty cool. Lots of attention all week, which has been pretty cool. It's been exciting. Lots of people texting me from back home and just from everywhere, really. Everyone I've ever played baseball with, I feel like texted me. So, yeah, it's been a really busy week for sure, but it's been exciting and it's been a good confidence booster for me for sure. So, it'll be good.
Right. A long outing. I mean, you go 9 innings, you go 100, was 132, 134 pitches? 132.
Yeah.
I mean, what's recovery like on a normal week as opposed to when you go that hard on a night that is that emotional and you know that many innings of warming up and whatnot?
Yeah, normally my day after is like a lower body lift and no throwing or anything, but just kind of like a lift, and then I go into an upper lift the next day. But this week had a nice recovery day, just kind of like a little stretching circuit the morning after, which was well needed. I think it was Friday was definitely like very draining. I was pretty tired in the morning, so yeah, having that. But other than that, it's been pretty much the same day-to-day stuff. It's been trying to just get back on track as much as I can and get ready for this Friday.
What is the normal routine for just like not necessarily 132 pitch day, but just like what do you do Saturday? What's your routine Saturday, Sunday, Monday through the week?
Yeah, so Saturday I don't pick up a ball at all. I just kind of do some recovery stuff and hit my lower lift normally. And then Sunday I get a ball in the air, just pretty light throwing with an upper body lift. And then Monday is normally kind of like a moderate throwing day, not heavy, but just kind of in the middle of a light and heavy day. And then I'll do some like tempo bike stuff like that. Then Tuesday is my bullpen day, so I do that and then some sprint work. And then Wednesday is another lift day with some light throwing. And then Thursday I just kind of get ready for Friday.
There you go.
Yeah, right. Yeah. The night itself. I mean, that game you had to me look like, and you know where we sit. We're just right there, so I'm seeing every bit of this. I couldn't guess what you're throwing all night. You had four pitches working, but it seems like you had them all under such control, and it really seemed like those guys were off balance all night because they didn't know what was coming next. I mean, have you ever had a night where you were so in a zone that you just felt like you'd throw any pitch on any count like that?
Yeah, that was a pretty special night for sure. I don't know if I've ever had that good a feel for everything. Fastball, command, sinker, and four seam were both really good, and then just mixing with the cutter, changeup, slider, everything in the zone when I want it to be, and yeah, it was pretty good. I was kind of in command of everything there.
Right. I mean, I noticed too. You shook off a lot the other night. Talk a little bit about what leeway you guys have. Who's calling the pitches? Are you shaking off a pitch? Are you shaking off a location? But there were several times where it looked to me you were pretty emphatic about shaking off and looking for something else.
Yeah, so JJ's calling the pitches, and most of the time I don't really shake them off, but me and Johnny were kind of on the same page because a lot of the Florida hitters were actually kind of moving up in the box or like closer to the plate in certain counts. So Johnny was kind of the one that was telling me like, no, this guy, like, it'd be like a changeup call away, and he's right on top of the plate. So it was kind of like we're just guessing what the hitter was thinking. which is tough for JJ to see sometimes from the angle, like the other angle. So
Yeah.
yeah, and then a couple times when I get ahead, I just want to throw a fastball by people too. So sometimes I'm just like, all right, like I'm throwing a fastball. So
Yeah.
yeah, but a lot of it was just because they were moving up and back a whole bunch. So
Yeah.
Well, when you could reach back and get that 97,
Yeah.
that was
that helps.
nice.
Yeah, when I have
Like
that one helps.
yeah, when you got here, it wasn't that.
No.
Not quite. No, not quite.
Yeah. And people have asked you a lot this week about, what did you think was going to happen after the, did you think you were coming out? And so we've heard all that, but I think the proof is kind of in the pudding. You go out there in the eighth and the ninth, and arguably those were your two strongest innings. After the fifth, sixth, and seven, they
Mhm.
tended to they worked into some 3-ball counts. They were fouling off a lot of pitches, and especially the seventh. They felt there were a couple of at bats there where they were really worked you. Did you just feel like when you got in the eighth or ninth, and I can go 11, 12 innings here, just you weren't, nothing was getting located up. You weren't, I mean, mechanically you looked sound. I mean, it felt like you were, you still had some in the tank.
Yeah, for sure. I kind of thought I was done after the seventh inning just because the pitch count was up there and kind of a couple of tougher ABs, like you said.
Mm.
But when I was told I was going back out, I knew I was like, I can't give up a base runner because I like
Yeah.
first guy that
Yeah.
gets on, I'm getting pulled. So
You're out.
there's kind of that like that second wind or maybe third or fourth wind, honestly, that
Uh-huh.
that kind of just pushed me out there to kind
Uh,
of send it with everything that I had left. So.
sure. Drew, what you got? What you got?
Yeah. First off, I wanted to ask you what your thoughts were on the camouflage uniforms, but and then also, can you kind of go through your career progression because you're basically like a middle reliever, and then the next thing you know, you're a Friday night guy, and then the next thing you know, you're throwing a no hitter. So can you just kind of
It's
how did this all
fantastic.
come
Yeah.
about? This career
Sounds
progression.
like a movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I used to be a
Yeah,
sports
well,
writer, by the way, but
okay,
thankfully I'm not
yeah.
anymore.
Well, first off, the camo unis have been growing on me for sure. The
Uh,
first day I saw them, I was like a little unsure about it, but now I kind of like them. I don't mind them at all. But
mhm.
yeah, the whole progression for me has been pretty crazy. I know, like we were just at Huntsville yesterday, and I was talking about the last time we were there last year. I was out of the pen and I gave up a homer to some guy from North Alabama,
Yeah.
and I
Yeah.
was like, yeah. Um, so yeah, it's definitely changed really quickly and um, in my favor for sure. So it's been pretty cool. It's kind of just been a lot of hard work and given the opportunity eventually, and just kind
Mhm.
of got lucky with a couple things, I think. But yeah, overall, I just feel a lot more comfortable out of the starting role. So I think I've been able to improve a little bit
Yeah.
more once I've gotten into that.
How cool has it been, these Friday nights? I mean, like this past weekend, you're head to head with Peterson. This coming weekend, it's Auburn and they're, Marciano. It just every Friday night, it's like this kind of elite arm in this conference. And you're that guy now too. I mean, you're right there head to head with them. I mean, how cool is that to be competing against those guys?
Yeah, that's awesome. That was kind of the biggest thing that when I was pushed into the starting role last year, it was the thing that kind of made it the most fun, I think. Like my second start, I guess, was against Kate Anderson
Mm-hmm.
at LSU, and I was like, "Holy crap, I'm throwing against like probably the best pitcher in the country right now. Like,
Yeah,
this
yeah,
is awesome." And I think that's kind of a good thing for me to not like outduel them or anything. I feel like I just try to pitch my game, but it is cool to see like, okay, I'm pitching right now, this guy's pitching right now. He's going to be a first rounder. Like, we'll see how I stack up against him. And I think for the
right.
most part in those big games, I've pitched the ball pretty well. So it's been really fun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Griff, what you got? Yeah,
Uh, Congrats on a great week. Like you said, going up against Kate Anderson last year, or any other starters, JJ's been that guy that's been with you the entire time that you've been at the capstone. So, how has he helped you kind of with your confidence and your progression as a pitcher? Obviously, you were incredibly talented to get to Alabama, but you've clearly taken it to another level within the past 18 months.
Yeah, JJ's been awesome for me. He's really big on the mental side of things, which I think
mm-hmm.
is the area that I've honestly improved the most in. Obviously, the velo and stuff has jumped up, but I think part of that's just getting older, getting bigger, stronger, stuff like that. But I think going out there and being confident in my ability every time, even when I don't have my best stuff, that's something that JJ has really helped me with, and the whole coaching staff, honestly, just given me a lot of belief in myself and kind of taught me how to go out there and just have unwavering confidence no matter what. And I
Mhm.
think that's been really helpful, especially for outings like Kentucky 2 weeks ago, where it
Yeah,
early did not go my way at all. So just kind of
right.
staying in the fight and not giving up on anything.
I talked to your dad Sunday um, before the game, and he shared a discussion you guys had while out to dinner the other night with a former big league player with some Florida ties. You want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, it was pretty funny actually. There was a guy, we were at Chuck's, we were eating, and well, I guess it was right after we were done eating. We
Yeah.
were outside just hanging out, and there was a Alabama fan that I don't know what was going on with him. Honestly, he was playing a kazoo and like getting all in the Florida guy's face. He was trying
Was
to
it
get him to
Hunter?
say "Roll Tide."
Hunter Johnson?
Yeah, not
Just
Hunter
kidding.
Johnson, but I actually
Hunter
did
was
see him
there,
there as
but it
well.
wasn't.
Yeah, I did see him, but yeah, he was pretty funny, and so we were just kind of sitting back from afar watching that, and we're like, "What is this guy doing?" And
uh,
the Florida fans that he was talking to, like the guy who's like a big, scary looking dude. I was like, I don't know if I'm messing with that guy. And then we were walking back to like the car or the apartment or whatever, and we had to walk right through there. And he stopped me and was like, "Oh, there's the guy right there." And I was like, "Oh, what's up?" So then he was talking to me for a little bit, but yeah, he was a nice guy for sure.
Yeah,
But
yeah, very cool. Yeah, yeah. It sounded like a former big league player
mhm,
talk you through the game a little bit, even too. It sounded like
yeah, yeah,
So
hmm,
that the backup
giving me some
shortstop, I guess,
pointers.
is his son.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Florida.
Um,
Yeah.
he also shared with me like a cameo you got or video you got from a former big leaguer that I thought was a pretty cool thing.
Yeah, yeah, that was awesome. Adam Wainwright actually sent me a video, was just congratulating me, and yeah, that was incredible. That was
That
really
is
cool
neat.
seeing
Yeah,
that video. So
yeah. Right, right. Roger, go.
Oh no, I'm good.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
just enjoying it, listening.
Yeah, I was going to say one last thing. You mentioned Johnny and some of the adjustments you guys were making to the pitch calls and whatnot. We had an interview last year. It was great. I mean, Roger, you remember this was great with Alex Avila, who was a
Yeah.
former catcher at Alabama, then played several years in the big league with Detroit. He actually caught one of Verlander's no hitters, any number of his ones and two hitters, and he was the catcher in the Galarraga game. That was a perfect game that the umpire blew the call on at first
yeah,
base, and we talked a lot about that because it's like this guy was like this close to catching about 4 or 5 no hitters.
He got one of Shirt and Mad Max's too. So
Yeah, yeah,
I think he's got three,
he's got three, I think. Yeah,
three, and then four.
and then Galarraga. Yeah,
When he got cheated
that's
out of.
so
crazy. Yeah,
yeah, so talk about how important your catcher is and being in tune with your catcher in a game like that. And what Johnny did that night.
yeah. I mean, me and Johnny were on the same page the whole night. He was stealing a ton of strikes for me, especially as the game went on. The zone got a little bit bigger, but it was kind of like he gets the call or we both get the call from JJ and he sets up perfect spot. I throw it and like if it's anywhere close, he was getting the call for me. So being on the same page with him is awesome and we kind of just we would both shake our heads sometimes at some calls we're like, no, we're going with this pitch. Like
Yeah,
we were really just like locked in with all that, which was I
yeah,
mean, it's really fun to pitch when the guys
right,
are helping you out like that. So
right. Right. Kind of cool. You're now you probably never heard of Eddie Okar, who now was the guy who threw that no hitter in 1942. Anyone
hmm,
mention the name Johnny Vandermeer to you this week?
I don't think so. No.
Okay, tell him,
Well, you
Roger.
need to look him up.
Yeah.
only
So
Johnny
major league,
Vandermeer.
only major league player to ever throw two consecutive no hitters
Oh,
that's right.
yeah, we'll see about that one.
for the Reds. The Reds back
Yeah.
in the 40s.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
would
So
be incredible.
any
Yeah.
time a major leaguer throws a no hitter when his next start comes around, you hear many Johnny Vandermeer references. So
Yeah.
there's your introduction to Johnny Vandermeer as you get into this upcoming game with Auburn on Friday. So talk about that one a little bit, and then we'll let you go.
Yeah, we're really excited for Auburn. They are obviously a really good team. We're excited to actually play them at home finally.
Yeah, yeah.
Both the
First
years
since
that I've
23. Yeah,
yeah, both the years that I've been on the actual team, I guess. we've had to go there, and that's a pretty brutal place to play, especially as an Alabama person. So yeah, it'll be really awesome to have our home crowd, and yeah, we're just excited to go out there and play another good series. It should be really fun. So
Yep.
yeah.
Yep. The only thing I probably regret about that game is that the students were all, there wasn't a student contingent there because spring break
Yeah,
was going on. And so the students weren't there. But we had a pretty decent crowd in right field of just, regular civilians. That's just kind of the way it always, we've had years where both weekends were spring break weekends. And fortunately just one. I think you won't have that problem this Friday night.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, anything else, Roger? Y'all got anything else? We go let this fellow go and get back to his evening.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Thank you.
Right.
Thank you so much, Tyler.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Tyler.
thank you for having me, guys.
Yeah,
I
thanks,
appreciate
Thank you
Tyler.
again, Tyler.
Right.
Again, Tyler Fay, first no hitter by an Alabama pitcher since full 9 inning no hitter since 1942. 13 strikeouts, only walked 2 guys. You'll see him on the mound Friday against Auburn at 6:00 at the Joe. Hopefully going for number 2, but we'll settle for just picking up a W. Thanks for joining us, Tyler.
Thanks for having me, guys. Roll Tide.
All right, roll Tide. Right. Great to have Tyler on tonight. On with the show. I mean, a great discussion. I think again he's done so many of those interviews this week, so we just really wanted to get a little more insight on the actual the way the flow of that game went, and I thought it was something else. We can talk more about that game because I think we could talk about that game any number of hours, honestly. First time Florida had been no hit since 1963. He beats Liam Peterson, who is, again, first rounder, top 10, top 20 pick. That's the thing about it. He beats Liam Peterson. He's got to go to, Jake Marciano this Saturday, Friday night. It really, for you guys, Roger, you're the historian here. I mean, you've seen everything from this program. Rank that game in terms of just kind of historical, just fondness. I mean, obviously there's, recency, but man, it's.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Well, I mean, it's really hard to top that. I mean, only thing would be if it wasn't spring break and the place was really packed out and really rocking. But I was very proud of the crowd and, the normal crowd and the right field crowd. I thought it was pretty good and everybody obviously was very engaged. And I was obviously there for the 2014 combined no hitter with Gilbo, Champlain, and Jay Shaw. But I mean, I think it was maybe Mississippi Valley State or
it was early.
It was not exactly like SEC caliber opponent.
Right.
I mean, no hitter's no hitter, and it was combined. I mean, so.
Yeah. And the other thing about this, again, we're 0-3 in the conference going in this game. We lose this game.
Right.
We're back being pissed off like we were last week on the show.
Right. Yeah, I was thinking before we got on, it's like, damn, the attitude's going to be so different from coming off an 0-4 week, 0-4 week to a 4-0 week.
Yeah.
But other moments for me, over the last, just say 20 years or less.
Right.
To not go back too far. And it was a terrible year, 2012, but Taylor Vidal's walk-off home run to beat Auburn in the bottom of the ninth in a game. And then last series for that team against Georgia, John Kelton, who's from LaGrange, Georgia, didn't get any looks from Georgia at all, so really just hated him. He had a walk-off single in the bottom of the ninth to beat them in his last at bat. That was cool. The 2006 team, a lot of good memories there. The Florida Brawl was one of them.
I wasn't there for Jake Walters' final game, but that was a pretty cool moment. That was not a good team.
That was a good one.
Yeah.
His dad was very emotional that night.
Yeah. Jake, what we're talking about, Jake throws a shutout against Ole Miss, I think it was.
Fifth ranked Ole Miss at the time.
Yeah.
And, his last start.
Yeah. Obviously, a little more recently, the Troy, any of those regional games, the Troy
regional games
on Saturday night,
sure.
23.
As a student, I'll say the opening of the New Joe was that weekend against Maryland was
that Maryland
special.
that was as well. Yeah. I was down on the field for all the ceremony and all that stuff before. And
right.
Coach Battle was still with us, and the athletic director, and
Mm-hmm.
we had a big group down there of the people that were involved with the stadium renovation and fundraising. So that was nice. And then Chandler Taylor hit a couple of home runs in his first game as a freshman.
Yeah.
So that was good. But I think just the circumstances, like you said, 0-3 in the conference.
Yeah.
The hugeness of the game and the much needed win, but plus the historical
significance. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like way before we were around. Brett Price came up to our section right after the
our
game
strength
ended,
coach. Yep.
And he said, Roger, it's hard to get something historical over something you haven't seen here before, Roger, but I know you haven't seen that. I was like, you're exactly right. So
yeah, Meghan, you're watching from Carolinas, and you've sat through a lot of these, and you were there for that 23 team, and your thoughts on this game and just kind of where you rank it.
I mean, it's definitely up there. It's one of those nights that like I wish I was home, not getting to actually be there and enjoy that more than anything. But it's definitely one that even watching on the couch, like it's special and getting to, know this is happening. Like it's up there with that regional for me.
Yeah.
It's,
the night, the night after the scandal broke, the Vanderbilt game that night, and again, you wonder what is this going to mean for this team the rest of the way.
Right.
And that ball Andrew Pinckney hit to the Culver House School of Law. I mean, that was a pretty emotional night, pretty strong. But again, propelled that team toward the regional. But yeah, it drew historical significance.
So I watched it. Yeah, I had my iPad. I was watching tournament basketball. My iPad was basically right there. So it was a lot of fun. I try to think. I was thinking back to some of the best games I've ever seen pitched. I was not there Friday night, but Lance Cormier's one hitter against Winthrop when he faced like one over the minimum in 2001 was really good. That was probably one of the best. That was probably before the best pitched game I'd ever seen by an Alabama guy. But the closest we've come to like a legit no hitter, and Roger, you probably were there. 2012, I think it was the year that we were not good, and Turnbull was a freshman. 7 innings.
It started raining against South Carolina. Yeah.
So he goes 7 innings. It's 0-0, and then it rained out. So I don't know. Like you might have been there. Were you there for that?
I was there. Yeah.
Okay, so I don't know what, but I remember watching it on the computer, and then of course I didn't think we were going to score a run, and I don't think we did when we lost the game the next day. But man, that would have been something if a freshman had gone in and no hit South Carolina in their part.
He was not happy when the rain came. He was feeling it, but he got his no hitter in the big league. So
I think what is mad is me and maybe all of us, but especially me, were last week is I thought that was probably one of the worst games we had under the Vaughn era in the South Alabama game, and then obviously not a great series. This might have been the most impressive weekend regular season wise in the Vaughn era, because just coming back, our guys get back up off the mat pretty well and just sweeping them. Sure, they had their shortstop out Saturday and Sunday, but still a pretty good, solid lineup. And I went and looked at a lot of their pitcher stats. Their bullpen was really good. Like they didn't look very good. We made them look bad, but that was a good bullpen that we.
And the Saturday starter had a 0 ERA coming in and gave up four earned and 5.
Aiden King.
We played our brand. We played the brand of ball that is conducive to us winning games. And if we keep doing that, it's easier to say, harder to do. But man, we can go a long way if we keep playing like that.
The thing usually a no-hitter's got some sort of a dramatic play, or a diving catch by an outfielder, or a play in the hole with a strong throw by an infielder and a bang.
We did have one of those. The play in the hole that Brian made in the hole, and then the deep fly ball that
Fowler.
It wasn't like an unbelievable play, but that was the best hit ball.
Right.
Those were really about the.
There was one. Early on.
Did Tyler had to cover the bag on?
It's
second hitter of the game.
Yeah.
Early on, very early.
Right.
I wonder in college baseball history, how many guys have thrown a no hitter and made an error in the same game. Tyler,
Yeah, I
Tyler.
wanted to ask about pickoffs, but I figured let's just stay positive. Let's just send him on his merry way for the evening.
Yeah.
But every game,
How
man.
how fitting that even in a game we throw a no hitter, we get to reset the counter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
But
is the Alabama way.
that's it. That's it. Yep. Griff, your thoughts on that game? You've seen a lot of them, and obviously your just overall thoughts on it.
Yeah. Special night. I mean, I think no hitter aside, it was like you said, we go 0-4, then it feels like back's really against the wall. We have to come out and make noise Saturday and Sunday.
Mhm.
You know, offense got, some timely hits early, and
Mhm.
the weekend, we got more runs, but I don't want to be greedy, but I would have loved to see a little bit more on Friday to make that even more
Yeah.
comfortable. So
Yeah, we certainly had some opportunities, and I think the beauty of a Tyler Fay, whether he throws a no hitter or not, is how he chews up innings, and he's been doing that ever since we've put him in this starting role. But, he's going to get you five. You don't have to worry about him getting pulled 2 1/3 or not getting out of the first inning or not getting a second. I mean, he's going to give you 5. He's probably going to give you 6, and lately he's chewing up 7.
And more.
I mean, it sets you up for the weekend. And look at Sunday. I mean, that could have been a disaster if we'd had used 8 pitchers.
I was gonna mention to Tyler in the thing, but I decided not to. How impressive he was at Kentucky
Uh-huh.
to
Yeah.
go the 5th, 6th, and 7th innings
To recover, right?
after recover and giving up 3 home runs and 7 runs early on. But I mean, he gave us a chance. We didn't take advantage of it, but he gave us a chance by saving the pen. And we really should have won that Saturday game, but that's another story.
Yeah, and
you're gonna get 6 or 7.
Yeah, he's
every
done that
time.
repeatedly. The Missouri first game of the series last year, when they just kind of fluky hit 5, got 5 runs in the first inning off of him, and Meghan, he recovers, and I don't know how far he went that night, it's 5 or 6, but that was an example there too. He just seems like he does that for you when you really need it.
Yeah, and maybe that's the benefit of Tyler having had that time of coming out of the pen and then moving into that starting role, is being able to adjust and be able to bounce back when, back against the wall situation. And I think, last week 0-4, I think it may be a benefit that I was at a conference and wasn't able to be on the podcast. But, it still says the test that he gave us kind of a best situation to make out of a weekend, even though it didn't happen.
Right. I'm gonna get y'all's thoughts too on the 132 pitches. Again, we hear about, oh man, you're killing your pitcher. Well, it's not like he's gonna throw 132 pitches every week, and it's not like they don't have a plan for how to recover him the next week, and it's not like he's already hot, right? He's already hot out there. It's not like you got to go warm him back up, and it's not like he's sitting 30 minutes and then going back out. I mean, this was a quick pace game, so I thought if you're going to throw 130 pitches, I mean, obviously there's some adrenaline going there too. This was probably the most conducive night, Drew, I've seen for something like that.
Yeah, I think with a guy like Tyler Fay, who grew up in Nebraska, I'm not even sure where on the map the town is, but he wasn't. And I asked his dad this on Saturday. He wasn't playing travel ball year round like a lot of these kids who have arm surgeries do. I mean, he was I remember when I saw him listed as a signee or whatever, I looked up some stuff, and the only thing I could really find was basketball. So he was probably a guy who played different sports year round.
In gym in the winter.
Doesn't have as many, hasn't thrown nearly as many innings as a lot of these guys have at this point. So I think that's also different. I mean, who's to say if he's a kid from Hoover, Alabama, he probably would have played a lot more. I'm sure they probably still would have tried to push that through, but I think he just didn't have as many bullets in his arsenal coming into this as maybe a lot of these kids do at this point of their careers.
Yeah. And Griff, I mean, I talked to him a little bit about this too. It's just, you didn't see the arm slot drop, and you didn't see pitches getting elevated. You didn't see anything nothing in the dirt hardly all night, unless it was just, kind of a waste pitch. He gave you no indications that he was tired, and the way he finished that game, I mean, that was almost like, the guy you bring in, like bringing in Chase Lee in the 8th and 9th. I mean, it was a whole different different thing, right?
Yeah, for a lot of our football fans that happen to care about baseball for a small section of the year, it's like Derrick Henry, like got to the fourth quarter and he
Yeah.
was just as strong, if not stronger, closing out that game. Where a lot of guys, and that's as he said, they typically he gets one guy on, he knows that his night's over.
Right.
So I think he probably, I just shout out to Brett Price and JJ and the whole recovery process that he's able to go a full 9 innings. I know there were quite a few keyboard warriors thinking that, Rob and JJ were knuckleheads for leaving him in there, but unless you're in that situation and you're talking to the guy who's doing the thing, I'm fine with it. I had no issues with going that distance.
Another thing I think you mentioned 4 pitches, but I read about, throwing 5 pitches during the, like and everything he throws is so effortlessly
Yeah,
done.
exactly. Yeah.
He's not been has to rally quick, and it's just like put everything into every pitch. Or he is, but only in his own way. I mean, it's just the whole.
Yeah.
He's a whippy arm motion.
It's whippy. Yeah. Yeah.
A
lot of flexibility.
Right.
A lot of tempo in the way he pitches. I mean, there's and so I think from his standpoint, it's probably there's a lot of training involved in not getting his body in front of his arm, all the having everything on time, and he didn't miss a beat on that the other night. In fact, the only again I went back to when I was talking to him earlier. I think it was the 7th inning where a couple of batters really extended at bats, but he managed to close them, and so much of that is just mental. I think, Megan, you've guy fouls you off 3 or 4 times, and how are you going to keep responding? You got to be confident in what you're going to throw next to try to finish this at bat off.
Yeah, and I've never been in this type of situation to be able to know kind of fully what that pressure feels like, but it really doesn't seem like, Tyler's face. And I think he touched on that of like JJ really focuses on that mental side of it. And I think that's a key point. And we've seen that through the years of the pitchers that JJ develops of like they have this coolness, they have this, ability to collect themselves and actually translate that into doing their job and doing their job well.
Right. They're not overly fiery. They're not, they're not, it just seems like very even keel kind of slow heartbeat guys or what's the kind of Rob says that, what is that's phrase for the heartbeat.
Riley may be a not quite that same.
Yeah, exactly.
Because then you
He
get
may
into
be a
the
little bit more
spectrum.
the other way, but
You get Riley, and then you got a guy like Connor Prelip that we can't get 5 words out of if we were to have him on the podcast. So
exactly. So all right, so we'll put a bow on that one. That's a 6-0 win again. One for the ages, where legends are made and whatnot. Let's quick poll of the group. In what inning does he give up his first hit this week?
First.
Okay.
first batter gets it out of the way early.
Okay. All right. Megan,
followed by a double play.
By a double play. Are you going any deeper than that, Megan?
No, I'm saying first.
If you go first, all right, Griff.
I'll go second just to be straight.
Right.
He'll get through.
Right. I'll give him a third. I give him the third. I think he's going to give us a little taste of it again. But somebody will get to. This is and we'll talk about Auburn a little more. But it's not a great hitting team. It's a great pitching team. It probably has the potential to be a great hitting team. It has not been yet, and we'll talk a little more about that. But this Florida team is a pretty damn good hitting team. You mentioned, again, the bullpen is strong. These starters are good. So, going into Saturday and then Sunday, we just dismantled this team. And to the point of, you saw the memes of Kevin O'Sullivan on Sunday. Just, man, I don't know. Look, I think I look that way when I've got strep or I've got, a stomach bug or something. He looked like Drew. He looked like just, I want to pile on the guy. Although he's not a very likable guy. It looked like there was just something that the mojo was not there with that team this weekend.
Yeah, you could really tell he's on the back end of his career, and it's been as much as I don't like him either. It's hard to argue with the success he's had. He's been there, I think it's like 2008. So I don't really know. Maybe he just has a bad feeling about his team. Maybe he's just not as intense anymore. Maybe he's mellowed in his older age. He's like 57, I think, 58. But I didn't see the fire. I didn't really.
Older.
He course, then again, this is a guy who got suspended for a couple games because he
Yeah.
blasted some people. So maybe he's undergone some counseling and whatnot, and he's just
I think
maybe a
he
more
has.
likable guy now because he had that
Right.
leave of absence. So I kind of think we're on the back end of the O'Sullivan journey. I think we could have yelled anything we wanted at him, and he would not have budged. And
No,
it's just
you can't.
kind of what it was
Yeah,
with Florida.
he is 57, by the way.
It's 7. Okay. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. He looked a lot older than that on this
well,
weekend.
he got their attention somehow. They beat Florida
Yeah.
State.
He
Yeah.
bounced back. Yeah. Yeah. And in fact, I mean, as we get into it, we made our picks for this coming weekend. I picked them for this weekend. I don't know if they'll come through. I feel like it might be a bounce back team. It just doesn't seem like that should be that bad of a team. I mean, you can't judge anything from playing South Carolina, which they swept. But it wasn't that it was such a bad team. I mean, I think we probably played a little over our heads, but it felt like the way they pitched, just some of that non-competitive at bats. It felt like a little bit of a beaten team. Another solid performance on Saturday from Zane Adams. I mean, Griff, we're gonna miss that guy when he's moved on, but 6 strong innings. 5 hits. He gave up 2 earned runs. You always give you that one little oops. I made a mistake. I got one up. He got knocked out of the park. But he just doesn't walk guys. He struck out 6. He walked 1. Got up to 102 pitches. Talk about the effort of Zane Adams on Saturday following the no hitter on Friday.
Yeah, I think that's classic Zane. I mean, I think that's what he does. He gives up a run or two, but he limits it. I mean, that's typically been where it's at, where he doesn't compound 2 innings and turns it into something that gets away from him in the third. So like you said, this is a guy that a lot like Riley Quick or pitchers that we've had that get drafted highly. I expect that of Zane for sure. So couldn't ask for much more. Obviously, we'd love to see another no-hitter, but let's be real, 2 no-hitters in back-to-back days was probably unlikely. He took care of business, and the bats did their part. So
yeah, Drew, offensively going in the weekend. I mean, after the just we didn't know where offense was going to come from with this team after last weekend. We seem to have found it. A lot of it came from the guy wearing number 10 on his back this weekend. What do you think was different this weekend with his team?
Hey, you must have listened to me say that maybe he shouldn't be the number 3 hole hitter and he should be batting 5 and limb 3 or something. But he was just locked in, dialed in, relaxed. I really thought we were in for a good hitting weekend when Justin Osterhaus lined that single into left on Friday.
Yes.
And he had I think he had another hit that game too. I think we had a lot of guys just get some clutch hits here and there, and it's almost like we didn't start the Sunday game off well, but we'd eventually really pulled away with it. But I think basically with our team, it's like if we this Alabama team, the small ball, get your runs when you can get them early, and then it usually really opens up. The floodgates really open up late, and then we're getting that grand slam or that 2-run home run. So we may go through the lineup 9 up, 9 down, but you can't. I don't think you can keep this group down for too long.
No. Go ahead, Roger.
Well, after hitting 225 at Kentucky, they hit 301. 28 for 93 with 22 walks and 5 hit batters. So 22, 44, 49. A lot of base runners.
Yeah, small sample, but we're 269 as a team now. We're 260 in the SEC. I mean, I could live with that split. I'd like to see both those numbers about 10 points higher, but they're that'll play if you get this kind of pitching, which you're not going to get every weekend, but you hope you can get it. The insertion, kind of the whatever it was that triggered them to put Will Plattner back in the lineup. After just a rocky start, Griff. It seems like it was a pretty genius move. It seems like he got some key hits over the weekend.
Yeah, getting Will in there. I know his family was in town this weekend. His grandfather was there, so I know. I mean, I don't want to jump ahead to Sunday, but the homer he had on Sunday was big. Got to be a confidence booster for him. We obviously was a spot where we needed to get some runs. So having the captain in the lineup, it's a difference maker. I know he hasn't probably started the way that he's wanted to, but you hopefully have this as a catalyst to jumpstart and continue the momentum going forward.
Right.
We'll definitely need, his hits and everyone else's this weekend.
Right. Right. And Meghan, there was a time in that game on Saturday where the bottom of the order, really from 5 to 8, were really having a rough time of it. And then Luke broke through, Brennan broke through, and we finally started getting some guys on base to lead to some run production. You generate 8, you generate 6 on Friday, you generate 8 on Saturday, and then Sunday's always up for grabs in the conference in general. What do you think does this bode pretty well for us going forward? You think, because that's a pretty damn good pitching team we just did that too.
I would like to hope so, but I'm still, I think, a little on the fence after Kentucky of just like what's gonna hold,
Yeah.
I don't know if we're gonna get the same, production that we got this weekend against Auburn, which I think all around is just a better team, but I would like to think that maybe we've gotten a bit of a monkey off our back with that one, and we're gonna see kind of those pieces really slapping together in some form.
Right. Right. Again, we talked about last week. How do you fix this defense? A couple errors again on Saturday. We made 4 on Sunday. Still managed to win it. Roger, what do you think? I mean, it's going to bite us. It's going to bite. It already has, but it's going to bite us.
Well, stop pickoff attempts would cut them in half.
Don't start.
Justin looked very smooth last night. He made some outstanding plays, and and all the routine ones. I mean, he's been making outstanding ones. The routine ones have gotten him a few times, and several of those arrows have been on carpet that somebody's pointed out, which really theoretically isn't supposed to happen. I mean, and Torres made a couple this weekend that he's been making those plays all year. Uncharacteristic for him. He's been our steadiest.
Been pretty steady over there. Yeah.
So I don't know the answer how to stop it. I mean, I see them take ground balls and fly balls for hours at a time.
It's not like they're not practicing
side work with the small gloves and and all that stuff. And I mean, it's just and a lot of it's concentration. And as we've said many times, some guys being out of position, out of their positions. Osterhouse looks like maybe he's settled in a little bit better in the outfield. Maybe
I think so.
More reps and more comfortable, because some of the balls he's had trouble with, he just looked uncomfortable on. So that's been better. Justin keeps his concentration. We know what he can do.
Yeah, sure.
Some of the other guys are a little more limited ability wise for where they are. Thank goodness for Brady. You can plug Brady Neal in anywhere, and he's going to do an admirable job. I mean, he may not have the best range in the outfield, but he's going to get to ball. He's smart. He knows how to play, position wise, and if he gets to a ball, he's going to make the play on it. So
and SEC Player of the Week, really swinging the bat. I mean, we've kind of made the little analogy about having Cade Snell behind LeBron last year. You could stack Brady up to him the way he's playing right now. I think so, Drew. Yeah, Drew. The 3-hit day on Saturday as we kind of wrap that game up. 2-hit day on Sunday, including the 7 RBIs. Just kind of wrapping that game up. We go in after Zane. Zane's pitch count got a little elevated. We he leaves the game with us leading it 4-2 at the time. Heiberger comes in. Again, I'm still not real pleased with the role for Heiberger. I'd like to see, but when I got those no-hitter on Friday, it's not like you had to go to him and then maybe you can go back to him on Sunday. So one time a weekend, but I do still maintain he's one of your 4 best guys. But he goes 2 1/3, gives up a couple of runs, strikes out a couple walks. Wasn't his sharpest. I mean, his control, his command wasn't as great, Drew, as it has been. And then Banks comes in the 9th and gets the last 2 outs. Final thoughts on that game?
Yeah, it was a big win. I think our team Alabama is at its best when Zane Adams is pitching at least 6 innings, Tyler Fay's pitching preferably at least 7 innings. But yeah, Heiberger started off strong. He kind of, I don't. There's probably something that was with his release point. I don't not a I
Yeah.
don't know that
Yeah.
much about breaking down pitcher's film, but looked like some of his balls were sailing a little bit. I'm sure they'll correct that. But he gave us a couple solid innings and then finished it off. But back to Brady. I mean, when I think about the infield defense, if I would love to see Brady Neal at third base and Jason Torres at first base and see how that looks.
And see what
I bet that
yeah.
would be a
Yeah.
phenomenal deep. I think because I think Brady Neal he could probably play all 9 innings in a game if we really wanted to. I wouldn't be surprised if he could get up there and pitch. But I don't think we'll ever. I think our best lineup is probably what it is. But I bet Torres is a really elite first baseman. I'm not sure.
He can pick.
Like I think he's going to pick those balls that Luke may not be picking right now. But yeah, good way to just take the series right there. I felt like we were going to win the series or sweep them on Sunday just because Florida had no energy out of their dugout. So I kind of felt like we had it swept in. But yeah, that's kind of my Saturday thought.
Right. Yeah. So and we've all seen it, but the LeBron home run on Saturday late where he pimped it a little bit. He watched it, but the catcher, I think that catcher didn't realize what he was getting into there. He starts walking down the line with him. LeBron just puts the bat down at his feet. And then, tough guy then winds back to the umpire about the bat being dropped at his foot while he's 15 feet up the line. It's like, you should be there in the first place, jackass. Just get your ass back in the box. So that kind of set up Sunday, which got really chippy at times that we'll get into. But Sunday was just a rough start. It's the first, probably first chink in the armor we've seen in Miles Upchurch, who's been very, very solid in his first, 5 starts before that. SEC pressure, it feels like that game shouldn't have been the pressure game, Griff, after you've already won 2, but just no command that day at all.
It was all over the place. And it felt like, thankfully that experiment didn't last as long as it could have on Sunday. So,
yeah, right.
But yeah, that was very early that unfortunately it wasn't going to just be his day. So it's probably, could be that first big home SEC series. It didn't matter who it could be against. I'm confident he'll bounce back, but unfortunate start to Sunday morning, but
had to hate that too because he had a lot of family there.
Right.
He can't get out of the first inning. Those 33 pitches. I mean that's the problem there. If he could just gotten a ground ball at some point. He only got one guy, but he just gets a ground ball at some point. But he just can't get over the plate, and they were very wisely taking and trying to draw him up. So he gets up to 33 pitches on it was a hot day, as you know. Props to Sam Mitchell, though, who comes in, kind of puts out the fire, gets us through the third at that point. Really limits that first inning. I mean, that first inning could have been an 8-run inning if the way it was kind of shaping up. Right. They only get 3 out of it, and eventually get another in the fourth to go up 4-0. That came on the heels of Luke Smyers having another, Meghan, another freshman. We had a rough time with our freshman on the mound on Saturday, those 8 pitches, and can't find the zone and gets pulled.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's kind of the inevitableness of the freshmen are going to look like freshmen. It's just the fact that it had to happen into 2 in the same game was not the best timing. But we luckily had, a bullpen that was ready to go and we can make use of.
Mm-hmm. If you saw Rob's press conference on Sunday, he addressed that, and I thought in a really, really neat way, and I thought it makes sense. And the way he kind of viewed it, you get 14 starts in the season. You're going to have 2 where you're just lights out, like Tyler the other night, like he'll have another time later this year. You're going to have 2 where you're just, I don't think he said this way, but you're just garbage. You can't find any. You can't get it anywhere. And then those other 10 are going to be somewhere in the middle. So, I think he acknowledges that with the starter. And, I mean, I think that was good for maybe the confidence of Miles that, hey, maybe you got one of those 2 out of the way, Roger. And, it's not like, hey, you need to be looking over your shoulder because another guy's going to be on your heels. He knows that. But I think I thought that was a good way of putting it, and probably what he told Miles as well.
Yeah, that's Rob. I mean, builds his guys up and tries to give them as much confidence as possible and lead them in the way that that they can recover from it without, feel bad about that they didn't do their job, but
Yeah.
not so bad that they can't snap out of it and come back, bounce back, and do
Right.
what they know they're capable of doing. So,
Yeah. So,
Miles has had control issues in the two SEC games, whereas
mhm,
he
right.
didn't he didn't at
Did
all in the
before.
preseason.
Mhm,
So, maybe just a little bit too amped up, and
mhm, mhm,
because he was like 32-5 strikeout to walks headed into
mhm.
SEC, and then he walked 5 at Kentucky and
Uh,
four the other
or the
night.
other night.
So,
Uh,
he's tripled his walks in 2 games. So, well, in just very few innings too.
yeah. Yeah.
So, I think he'll snap back. I mean, he's very level headed. He's like Tyler. He's very level headed, and Zane. All three of those guys or they have that ice water in their veins, slow
Yeah.
heartbeat.
Yeah.
I mean, they're calm and cool, and
Mhm,
we know he's got the ability. So I look for him to
right.
bounce back.
Right. So if you're gonna have a bullpen game, you're gonna have your starter not get through the first inning. Best do it on a night or a day after you've had a no hitter and a 6 inning outing by your starters. You've really only burned 3 guys on your staff. Heiberger probably could have come back on Sunday through 50 pitches on
Yeah.
Saturday. Banks was ready to go and obviously came back on Sunday. So Drew, we go into as it develops into a bullpen game, we get a little something from everybody, but I think the story of this game was the Florida bullpen.
Yeah. A little bit on ours. I really thought Sam Mitchell and Ashton Crowther saved the game for us. I think if we don't get
Yeah,
what we got
Agreed.
out of them, we probably
Agreed.
don't win. But yeah, they brought in several guys, and I just went the other day and looked at some of their ERAs because I was like, man, Sully's just going deep into his pen. These guys probably
hmm
haven't thrown any, but no, like Barbery's a stud for them.
he really is.
He
Yeah,
pitched
yeah.
the lefty who we hit the 2 home runs off of. I thought the guy was garbage, but I looked him up and he was really good before that. He was kind of
Lugo,
yeah,
Charlotte,
double
whatever.
double last name, came over from somewhere in Utah. Uh and yeah, but he was lights out in about 12 innings before this game, and we touched him up. I think Rob said on one of the some interview, I can't remember where, that's the guy who kind of started this whole chippiness
Uh,
because he struck
yeah.
Torres out and stared him down.
And stared him down. Yeah,
I
yeah,
don't remember that. You guys maybe remember that better than me, but yeah,
yeah.
a lot
I
of
saw it
bullpen
later and I'd
guys.
forgotten about it, but I
Yeah, I
saw
need
it later and I was like, yeah, that's kind of where it started.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but they threw a lot of guys who threw very hard, and some of them didn't have much control. And our guys had a lot of great discipline in them. We got some hits
hmm
off of them, including the grand slam off a 98-mile-an-hour bullpen fastball.
Right.
The guy who had hit LeBron with a 93-mile-an-hour slider that he
Right.
absolutely was not trying to throw for a strike.
No, no, it was 3-1,
So
3-1 count. He's got a freebie there. He's either going to
mhm.
throw
And
a, you know, a
Bryce had just gone a second on a wild pitch, so first base
right,
was
right.
open.
Yeah, we
First base is open. He's got 3-1 count. He could just throw some, curveball off the plate or a slider off the plate. Instead, he goes up on his shoulder. I mean, you start getting up in this area. That's especially to a guy
mhm.
that's now been hit 9 times this season. Yeah, you're going to get an unfavorable reaction. And again, I think I've said it a number of times now. If you want to be Saint Gump, go hit a grand slam after that happened.
Yeah.
And Brady Neal did just that, Griff. I think
Yeah.
he probably writ his name in crimson flame like Tyler did, as was said on the radio broadcast the other night.
Yeah, I mean, as much of a, kind of storybook, middle inning guy to, throw on the no hitter Friday night. That's about as great of a setup that you can have for Brady. He was already having a great weekend as it was, and then to hit that grand slam, I mean, that's like coming out, I think a couple years ago against Arkansas, and we're just nailing threes left and right. I mean, it's just everything's
Mm-hmm.
going our way at that point.
Yeah.
So,
Mm-hmm.
feels great. I mean, Brady, he's earned it, and he's absolutely a staple in that lineup. I'd like to see him move around as well. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
don't think he'll be quite maybe Roger won't pester manager quite like Brett Baseball to get him to do all 9 in 1 game. But, until he tells me he can, I would certainly feel like
Yeah.
he could. So but yeah, I
Yeah.
mean what a cool kind of 5-10 minutes there to see that kind of transpire.
Mm-hmm.
And from feeling like, couple innings ago that, oh crap, we're going to find a way to somehow punt this game on a Sunday that we don't want to look back at this game in 6 weeks and be like, man, that's a game that we really needed. Yeah, to cap that off there and then to hold court the rest of the game. I mean, we don't get a lot of sweeps as it is in SEC. We always talk about it's the hardest thing to do is to sweep a team. To go from getting swept to sweep a ranked team, we absolutely
very rare.
That. Yeah, very.
Right. And again, we go from, we're down 4-0. We seem pretty dead. I mean, we're dead to rights. Had some pretty non-competitive at bats, first 4 innings. Then, we get the home run from LeBron in the 5th. We get the home run from Plattner in the 6th to tie the game up as part of a 7-run inning. We chase, we burn through 4 different pitchers in the 6th. That's the inning where Sully got his 10,000 steps in that inning, I think, back and forth, and that's where I think that meme kind of came from. But anyway, we pretty well, you felt like you'd put the game away. We had a 9-4 lead, but the bullpen melted a little bit in the 7th. I think we went a little bit long with Crowther. Gave up a bomb, and next thing you know, it's a 9-7 game. But we answer again. I don't think I've seen this. So this team scored 14 runs. They did it over 3 innings. They did the 5th, 6th, and the 7th. We answer with 5 more in the 7th. With again Brady Neal, Roger, being the catalyst there with 3 or with a base
double down the line. He was seeing beach balls. I mean, just what an incredible weekend. And what a great thing it is that he did come back.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it was kind of like without really having a spot secured, that told that he was going to have to earn it. And I think he and everyone in his team were kind of expecting this year out of him last year.
Yeah.
When he came over, and he's already blown past all his numbers for the season from last year.
Right. Think about that. Yeah, think about that. Your guys that could have gone Faye, Adams, and Neal very well could have been could have been drafted. Well, think about this weekend without those 3 guys. You're basically South Carolina if you don't have those 3 guys this weekend, right, Meghan?
That's right.
I don't know. I mean, so very fortunate that played out. All right, so we get the sweep again. Hagan Banks comes back on 2nd day in a row. Goes 2 innings that day. Hagan, your closer. Meghan, is that your closer? Have we settled?
I don't know if we've settled, but it's just looking like Hagan's wanting the job, and
I don't mean settled for him. Is it settled that he is the closer?
That's what I was saying too. I don't know. I don't know, but I think Hagan's fulfilling that role right now, and I think it might be one that he's in that job until he's not, sort of thing.
It seems like the other guys, Maddie and others, are coming in like not in the ninth.
Right.
I mean, coming in for multiple and depending on the situation, multiple innings.
Right.
But I know we'll get to it, and it was Austin P. But some promising thing out of the bull. Promising things happened with the bullpen last night.
Right.
To hopefully help out the situation.
Yeah.
Whether it's 5th inning, 6th inning, 7th inning, whatever. If if Lehman can throw strikes and do it like he did, and Austin Morris really looked good.
He looked good. Yeah. Sarna. Sarna out of nowhere. We haven't seen Sarna in a while.
Right. He had been out on the disabled list there for a little bit. So him coming back. I have no idea on velo because they didn't put it on the board, and I heard they didn't have it on the television monitor either. But so I don't know what those guys were throwing. Looked like Austin was throwing pretty good, and his breaking stuff was working really well.
Yeah, you feel pretty good about this pitching staff, Drew, right now. I mean, again, you wouldn't know about a weekend ago. This weekend, maybe you feel better, but I mean, you feel it just in general as 6 weekends in. With some of these guys that are maybe coming on, Pacey is thrown a little bit for you. You feel competitive at least in the SEC.
We'll see. I think I feel better than I did maybe a few weeks back. I mean, I don't know how many. We got a lot of guys kind of coming in. Maybe they're around 89 to 91. But if they're going to throw strikes and keep it low in the zone and pitch like they did last night, and then then that'd be great. I knew it was Austin P and not an SEC school, but a lot of
Yeah,
us included in a couple of these, but a lot of SEC teams are losing to these midweek games. Georgia lost
exactly.
to
Yeah,
Kennesaw State. So,
mayhem. Yeah.
Morris is a guy who he has a little more velo than some of these guys, and we really need to get good things out of him because I think he can get guys out in conference games. Maybe he's a one inning guy. I don't know. But I really hoping he can step up and pitch some high leverage innings and get guys out.
Yeah. So we get this sweep, and again, we'll go into Austin P real quick. We get this sweep the first time we've beaten Florida in a series since what was it, 2008?
Eight,
Eight.
Yep.
I don't know when we had swept them last. Probably
oh two.
02. They've been that far ago.
We
Yeah.
had some really good games with them that year. I'm not going to get too deep into that because we're talking about now, but man, I got some fond memories of that season.
So pretty historically, I mean, on top of the Tyler Fay gym, pretty historic weekend that you do this to Florida, who's been a real thorn in our side over the years, and that you get this done. Again, my only regret, like I say, you just didn't have the crowds because the students weren't there and all. But obviously that'll come with spring break being done. Quickly on the midweek game last night, we beat Austin P 6-2. I called it, the way I viewed it was pretty workmanlike. It was just it felt like a ho hum major league game in the middle of the week where it's okay, we got 162 games, let's get through number 137 tonight, or 100 or 37 tonight. It was early in the year. Nothing really flashy offensively. A couple of good innings in the first and the fifth. They walked the first four batters of the game, and that just kind of set it in motion. But even then, we didn't take full advantage of it, Roger. It just felt like that. But it felt like that kind of threw us off for a period of time. I don't know.
It really seemed like we should have. I think you said it in text last night. We should have had 6 or 7, 8 runs that inning. They walks the first guy, throws 20 pitches, 16 balls, comes out, and then sack fly, popped up the squeeze bunt, and strikeout, and then there you are with just 2 runs. And as you texted, I can't believe these bums are no hitting us. But took us to the 5th inning to get a hit. But we had and after those 4 walks, the next 12 batters in a row go down. The guy
go down.
Cox dude,
Chance Cox. Remember
Chance
that?
Cox with 11.81 ERA.
Yeah.
And like 28 hits allowed in 16 innings with 14 walks.
His legacy game.
He's throwing a perfect game but they made him wear it in the 5th though. They weren't going to take him out.
They got back on him. Yeah. So not, again, one of those nights there's no great benefit to playing this game unless you get a lot of guys in. I felt like you said, the benefit was you got Connor Lehman back in there and got him kind of well. You got Austin. Austin had a rough outing his last time out, just couldn't find the zone. He was money last night. Owen Sarna, again, first year in the program, 2 solid innings, gives up a hit, strikes out a guy, just get 6 outs. Get your reliever, go in there, get outs. And then Steck closes it out with a strikeout, giving up a hit in the night. Not a lot of highlights to this. We didn't hit the ball well. We gave up, we only got 7 hits on the night. We drew 8 walks. We made another error. It just happens. Didn't we reset the counter? Wasn't that a reset?
It was a pickoff. Yeah,
it was a pickoff. It's, as we all know. But in general, Griff, I mean, you find out how important these games are if you don't win them, but you won it. But any thoughts on this one?
Yeah, it's part of me always wants more. I want more runs. I want
see more guys.
Yeah, exactly. It drives me crazy. We're as of right now, we're top half in the league in ERA. We're top half of the league in hitting. We're dead last in fielding, and that just seems it always seems to come and bite us. Which we'll have to continue to watch. But I'm with Roger. Would have loved to get a couple more runs in the first. I mean, getting all those guys on base and just getting 2 runs is perplexing. But everyone stays healthy. We walk away with another midweek win, which may not help us all a ton, but it certainly hurts if we lose another one.
Right.
So No complaints. I mean,
Yeah, Megan, good test to just say, you came off an emotional weekend. A lot of we didn't even get into all the chippiness on Sunday a little bit, but I mean, obviously a lot of emotion, a lot of team bonding there as a result. You come back and you bounce, you just go take care of your business.
I think that's exactly it. It was go up, do your job,
Mm.
get home, and get ready for Auburn. And I guess it's really good that just we didn't look past this Tuesday game
Mm.
to getting ready to what this upcoming weekend will be.
Yeah. Yeah, which should be just mayhem. Roger, the Huntsville, I mean, it's been a good site. I mean, we got up there, we've won. It's a great venue. Not a great crowd last night. I mean, it's spring break all over the state. That probably
Well, it
contributed.
was really bad. It was
Mm-hmm.
less than 3,000 people. I think they announced
Mm-hmm.
crowd of 2,980,
Uh-huh.
which I don't know if it was that. How
Yeah.
announced crowds are compared to
Mm-hmm.
what
Yeah.
really what there really is. And I know it's been I know it's like a payday game. I mean,
It is. Yeah.
we get a guarantee of whatever, and
Mm-hmm.
whoever guaranteed last night, they're going to lose their ass.
Yeah.
Because I mean,
Yeah.
there wasn't anybody there. And I know
No.
Megan said her mom looked online and like tickets were like $75
Uh-huh. Yeah.
online. And I mean, there was 3,500, 4,000 seats empty.
Empty. Yeah. Yeah.
Um, they,
Uh-huh.
they, they, we, they did put us up in that same box
That
that
little box.
they
Yeah.
put us every year. And, the food was less than satisfactory, but,
well, I keep thinking it's like if we attract another, mid-major upper echelon team
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
potentially go to one of these games, we're just going to say screw it, we'll play at home. So it's like
Yeah.
I don't understand. I mean, I understand we want to spread the wealth. There are a lot of
Mm-hmm.
fans in North
well,
Alabama
no,
that want to see the team, but it's
right.
just I'm like
Well,
it's perplexing. So
Yeah.
they,
Go ahead, Roger.
I mean, everybody knows my feeling on this barnstorming tour around the state.
Yeah. Yeah.
As far as for basketball and baseball.
Mm-hmm.
Basketball, Hojo gives me a hard time about it. It's like it's a neutral game. Makes it a quad, whatever. It's
Yeah.
like,
We get enough of those.
I mean, I pay a lot of money for tickets to play the best out of
Yeah.
conference basketball game in Birmingham every year and have to
Right.
buy extra tickets.
Yeah.
And we never win that game.
And we don't. No. Yeah. We don't. Yeah. There's no advantage. Yeah.
And then this with eight midweek road games and 5 midweek home games, I just that's baffling to me.
Yeah.
And, there's not a lot of teams that would go to Montgomery and play Alabama State on the road.
No.
Our coaches in the past wouldn't do that. Now Rob's a great guy. He said, Jose's great. He's such a great guy, nice guy, throwing a bone. But that's, we've gone in there 2 times in 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think once every 5 years is enough.
Yeah.
And the way when you're making the schedule, you don't know your SEC schedule.
You don't.
So,
That's true.
I mean, so like part of my thing has been like, all right, we go all the way to Hattiesburg, then we got to turn around and go to Kentucky, and then, to Frisco, and then we come back from Kentucky, and we got to go all the way down to Mobile, like 2 days later.
Mm-hmm.
Like you don't know that at the time, so if you don't know, just don't do it. I mean, we're the capstone, we're the top dog. Come to us.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, Auburn this weekend. So here we go. We got 3 with Auburn. First time since 2023. Just with the schedule changes with the new teams in the conference. Obviously, we got shuffled. Had to go there twice. We go Friday at 6. We go Saturday at 7. I think that must be an SEC network game because for the weird time. And then Sunday at 1. Pitching wise, this is a very solid pitching team. They just got swept, or no, not swept. Lost 2 out of 3 to Texas, and had to win the first night in dramatic fashion on a weird play to center fielder lets the ball go under his legs. You'll see Jake Marciano Friday night, Jackson Sanders Saturday, who got roughed up this past weekend. Alex Petrovich, I think is how we pronounce it, on Sunday from Auburn. 3 pretty darn good arms, Drew, and like I said, not Butch's best hitting team, but certainly a lot of guys there capable of doing damage.
Yeah, I think those first 2 guys you mentioned are lefties, so I'm interested to see. Are we going to roll out 5 lefties in the lineup on Friday and Saturday? Is that the best thing to do? I mean, 4 of those guys for sure. I mean, with Fowler, Lim, Holt,
Holt
and
Brady.
and Brady, of course. So, I wonder. I don't know what SEC our splits are with lefties and righties. So I guess they'll figure that out. But yeah, those guys seem pretty tough. Hopefully, we can work them like we did Cleaver in that Kentucky game and get them out pretty early. Don't know much about their pen. I'm a little more probably worried about their lineup than I would have been Florida's, but I think they've got some pretty good dudes there. But there are some really tough outs, I should
Tough
say.
out. Yeah, exactly.
It's going to be tougher to pitch and play those guys. So we got to be really got to be fundamentally sound in the field. We can't be booting ground balls, and we got to be making like the tough scoops, the tough double plays and stuff like that to get out of here with a series win.
Yep. Obviously, won a one-run game on Friday. I think the Saturday game ended up being a one-run, maybe a two-run game. But they came back from a big deficit to kind of close it, and then pretty well got whitewashed on Sunday. They got knocked out again against Texas, who's arguably number 1, 2, 3, wherever you want to call it, doesn't matter. But this is still probably a top 5, 6, 7 team in the country. Recovered, wiped out South Alabama midweek. They had wiped out Georgia Tech midweek last week. So it's a good team. I mean, we can kid about Auburn and how much we hate Auburn or whatever. You got to respect their baseball program. It's been probably, of all the programs at the school, from a consistency standpoint, stability standpoint. I mean, it's
don't forget the horses.
Yeah. This is the horses. Yeah. When they're not young.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. They're pretty good golf now. Auburn's kind of become a country club school. I don't know how that happened. They're really good at the country club sports. So that's coming up. We will issue our picks, obviously, and have the graphic and tweet it out. But Megan, where do you stand this weekend?
I mean, I refuse to respect them ever as much as you saying we should respect them as a baseball program. I won't. I think if the team that showed up this past weekend shows up, we have a solid chance. I picked us to sweep just if nothing else, I need the points.
That's right.
But realistically, I think we have a very much a chance to take 2 out of 3.
Yeah, Roger, you think we get 2 out of 3 or sweep?
I picked us to win the series. Yes.
All right. Awesome. All right. Drew, you there?
Yeah, I picked us to win the series. I can't be picking against us and following us because I knew all 4 of you guys were going to pick, and I didn't want to root against us.
After Drew and Megan went all Gator on us last week and said that they lose the series.
I can't lose games in the standings.
No, that's right. Griff, how about you?
Yeah, it's roll tide all the way. I think the team understands that. Week 1 we flushed it. We played a lot better last week. And I'd like to think that the team almost has a sense of like we have to protect this house as far as playing at home. We've got the crowd behind us. It's the first time we've played them at home in a couple of years. Make sure that we respect them, but also go belt to ass if that's what we can do.
That's right. Yeah, I feel like it's a 2 out of 3 series too. I think we win it. I think we go 2 out of 3. I think we're better on Sunday this time too. I think I think we get better out of Upchurch on Sunday than we got the last. I mean, he should be rested. He ain't got a lot in it. Done a lot of pitches the last couple of outings. So I really look for him to be kind of our bounce back guy this week. And again, they'll find a way to eke one out with us. They're just that good of a team. But I think we go 2 out of 3. I think you're all going to be surprised when you see our picks that come out when we publish those. Some pretty bizarre, off the wall. I mean, I'm picking Missouri to win their first series since God knows when. Certainly wasn't last year.
Last year against Texas A&M.
Yeah, well, A&M. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, aside from the other 9, they got swept. But I've got that because it is A&M again, and this time it's at their place. So I thought they looked a little better, and they've had some better days for sure. They certainly gave Auburn a couple of pretty good games before kind of talent kind of prevailed on Sunday when that went by. Anything else you're looking forward to this weekend with this team, Drew? Anything you expect to see, hope to see?
I'm just glad that we have Auburn at home after the scheduling quirks the last 2 years, because for whatever reason, our commissioner thought it was a great idea to invite Texas and Oklahoma into our league. So just like I'm sure Tennessee's looking forward to having us up there. But yeah, just looking. Hope we have a great crowd Friday with the basketball game.
Yeah.
And it's not too full of Auburn fans, but yeah, I just looking forward to seeing how we compete against one of the best teams in the country.
They're good. Yeah, they're talking about doing something.
TVs or something.
Like to have some
TV,
big screens out for the Ragers.
So yes. There was something I was going to say off.
Basketball tips at like 6:30, 6:35. I think
6,
on Friday night. Yeah.
6:10. Or no, wait. Yeah, I think they are 6:30. We're at 6. Baseball's at 6.
So it'll overlap with the game, obviously. Yeah. Megan, final thoughts or anything of note for the weekend? You think?
Let's just go get wins. I think it's a really good weekend all around of SEC play, though. I will say
really
a lot of rivalry games. So watch us, of course, but if you care about SEC baseball, just a lot of good games should be happening this weekend.
Big in-state weekend for obviously for us, for Tennessee Vanderbilt, which is probably going to attract some eyes. Yeah, Ole Miss and State. LSU's look like quite an enigma. So if they can get right against Kentucky, clearly Kentucky's here to play. So should be fun. But
I think most of my picks reflect what I need for our RPI to improve, and you'll see when those come out later in this week. Which our RPI looks pretty solid after that series this weekend.
What'd you say it was 12?
Were we 12? I think.
It's on Warren Nolan. Yeah, we're 12 right now. So I didn't see that.
A little early for that to start shaping up, but a lot of years it kind of holds through. If if you're playing kind of 500 ball and you start at 12, you probably finish in 12 to 20. So
You were asking about what to look for this weekend. I'm looking for and want Justin to bust out offensively.
Yeah, exactly.
He needs to start gapping some doubles and some doubles down the line like he's done in the past. And his home runs will come. But he's still disruptive. He's walking, getting hit, getting on base, stealing bases, antagonizing people, and doing great. But there's so much more in there that we've seen and we know. That he can do more. And he will. So it'd be a nice time for that to pop out. And
I look forward to that. Yeah, definitely. So all right, folks. Folks, enjoyed it. Another great Weekly Joe. Many thanks to our panelists, Meghan, Roger, Drew, Griffin Smith, Tyler Fay, the National Pitcher of the Week on about everybody with any credibility this past week. Thanks, Tyler, for joining us, and good luck against the Barn this Friday as we get into the weekend. Alabama baseball with Auburn Friday at 6, Saturday at 7, and Sunday at 1. One final thing before we go, and it has just happened as we have been sitting here. The 11th perfect game in Alabama softball history. Team 30. It doesn't say who threw it.
It was combined.
Oh, combined. Okay, all right, a good deal.
Yeah.
Yep. So again, a perfect game tonight for Alabama softball. So
and Gray Robertson called it. So
Gray called it. Yeah, so big week for Gray. Congratulations.
If you want a no hitter. You want a no-hitter, have Gray on the mic.
He did a good job calling all the radio games this past weekend. Yep. Again, for Paul Graham, Meghan, Roger, Drew, Griffin, the Weekly Joe podcast. Thanks again, Crimson Crossover. Christian Sykes, who puts these things together every week for us, produces them, drops them for us by the morning after. As our fans are eagerly awaiting these. And thanks to all you for listening. And we will see you at the Joe this weekend. Roll Tide. Thanks, Peter Slide and Camp Land, for taking us away.
Swing it, boys, swing for the fence. Shove it, boys, make 'em miss. Some big league chew and a baseball souvenir. Come on, sing with me now. The Joe is home, sweet home. It's Roll Tide roll. The Joe is home, that's right. Home, sweet home. Hey, look, is that Roll Tide Willie over there? Well, it's Bama Blitz.